Hey guys. Okay, this is my last 2 days, yesterday and today. So, I go to sleep, I don't know, yesterday at some point, and how does it go? I'm walking down the street, and it's just like downtown Windsor, downtown Toronto, same thing. And I go down this side street, and I know it's more like a run-down sort of thing, junk on the road, tipped over garbage cans, scary-looking people, that type of thing. And but I ain't afraid of it. I'm just walking down the road, and I gotta go to the bathroom. So on the other side of the road is a bathroom, and it's just there on the road. It's just like an open bathroom on the road, like when you're in a mall or a grocery store and there's an open bathroom. You walk in, you go around a little corner, and there you go. So there's a lot of people going in, but I gotta go. So I go in, I walk in, and the place is fucking packed. As always, it's packed. And so the urinals are full. There are four in a line waiting to go to the urinal, and so there's nobody at the toilet door. So I'm waiting for the door to open up to go to the bathroom just to piss, and of course I gotta piss in real life. That's the only reason I'm in there. So I'm in the bathroom waiting to go, and this is a dream, okay? I'm waiting to go, and I'm standing there, and there's a fat guy beside me, and he's looking at me, staring me up and down, and I'm like, oh God, here we go. And then he comes over and he puts his hand on my shoulder, and he's rubbing my shoulder, and I'm like, come on, let's go. And I knock his hand away, saying no, and then he puts his hand on my shoulder again, and then he moves over and puts his other hand on my shoulder, and he grinds his groin up on me, on my leg, and he's rubbing my chest, and I got nowhere to go. I want to beat the fuck out of this guy, but I just want to piss, right? And I push him off me, and he comes back, and he goes, as he's rubbing my shoulder, he comes up in my ear and he goes, I'm a homosexual. And I go, yeah, I kind of figured that. And then I fucking nudged him in the head, pushed him and hit him in the head, not hard, and then he backed off. Then the door opened up and some other little guy went in there to go piss. And I'm like, fuck this. I'm out of here. I'll go piss in the street. I'm going to go piss in the street. Fuck this. So I turn around, leaving the bathroom. Buddy that was behind me, he grabs my ass. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. And I just want to get the hell out of here. The place is packed. Then I'm walking by. There's a guy standing against the wall. And as I walk by him, because there's someone walking by me here, he grabs my gear. And I fucking knock him over. I knocked him away, his shoulder or something. I'm walking out, and as I'm walking out, some guy grabs my ass that was standing just after him. Then I'm walking out the door thinking I'm home free, and as I'm walking out the door, some other fucking guy comes in from outside, and he walks right between me and the door, and he grabs my fucking balls and grabs my gear again. And I finally get outside, and I wake up, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on, right? And I never got mad because I had to go piss so bad. So I get up, because I got to piss. I get up, I go, I'm having a piss, and Jesus goes to me, he goes, so how do you like St. Sebastian? And I go, that ain't St. Sebastian. That's not St. Sebastian I know. St. Sebastian was a nice place with cabins in the woods and everything. And he goes, no, you're in the illusion. You're in St. Sebastian, the illusion. And I go, before? He goes, before you're in St. Sebastian where Christ lives. And I'm going, and I'm thinking, so there's two St. Sebastians? And he goes, yep. He goes, there's one in the illusion, and there's one where Christ lives. And then I go, well, I don't think that's called St. Sebastian. I think it's called Cockroachville. Because there's nothing but cockroaches living in that fucking place. And then, that was that, right? Then, as I'm trying to talk to Christ, the fucking priest, the spider Jesus, he's not a Christ, he's a Jesus. And he roams the illusion where I live, where I got molested in that fucking toilet, right? Now, I don't know if he was there, but he was there right after the dream saying, oh, I could have saved you if you were with me. I could have saved you if you were with me. He goes, well, you just keep hanging on. Maybe you'll figure it out someday. I'm like, fuck off, you fucking maggot, you piece of shit. And I'm swearing at him. I'm still swearing at him. And then I go, your day's coming, buddy. And so I do that. I lay back down, fall asleep again. Thinking, I don't want to go there again, right? I don't ever want to go there. Christ goes, think of a nice place where you were. And I go, I don't want to think of a nice place. I want to shoot zombies so I don't have to listen to this fucking asshole in my head. You get it? Anyway, so I fall asleep. Then I'm in another town. I go to another town. This town is on another street, but it's a different town in a different street. And this is all restaurants. It's sort of half-ass run down, but not. And it's full of restaurants and little shopping stores and little markets. And I'm looking at the restaurant, and it's chock full of chairs. Chock full of chairs. And I'm like, how the hell can you even get in there and sit down and enjoy yourself? There's so many fucking chairs in there. And I'm thinking, that's what I'm thinking. And then I know where I'm going, so I go. I'm with somebody, but I don't know who it is. I go to the place I like, and I've been there before, and I know where it is. So I go there, I find the restaurant, and I go in there. It's a restaurant, a bar, like a bar restaurant. And I'm in there, and immediately I go looking at these glass cases that line, like there's a bar that runs around the whole room where you have on the wall. And it's glass cases, and there's all kinds of artifacts in there. And the guy who owns the bar, he's a nice old man. And he runs the bar, and he's the owner. And he's like a sailor from the ocean, right? And he's like an old scallywag or something. But I love him. He's fucking cool. And he talks like a pirate too, you know. And he's got all his stuff that from all his lives that he lived and stuff like that in these cases. And I'm looking at him, and he collects trains. So I went in there and I was looking for trains to see what kind of new trains he got or anything like that. And I was checking out the old sailor stuff. You know, like cannonballs and medals and things and all kinds of seafaring stuff. He's got it all in there. And little tokens he got from other countries sailing all over the world. And so I'm looking at him. I'm just like a little kid in a candy store. I'm like, wow, wow, wow. And then I look down on the ground, and I buy myself a bagel. I look down, I'm eating it, and I look down at the ground, and there's money laying on the ground, like coins. So I start grabbing all the coins. I just pick them up. I got like a handful of coins, like $20 or something. And I'm like, well, I'll give this to the people outside because they need it, right? And I had a little bit of money in my pocket, so I was all right. And which I bought my bagel with. Then, as I'm looking at the money, I want to count it, and all of a sudden I go over to the wall, and there's a basket full of bagels, okay? But they're like day-olds or something. And so I'm like, well, and I look at them, and there's like a little bit of mold on them, right? And so I grab the basket, and I take all the bagels out of the basket, and I'm carrying them with the money. I got the money in this hand, the bagels I'm juggling in this hand. And so I'm getting ready to walk outside, and all of a sudden, one of the people goes, what are you doing stealing all that money and them bagels? And I go, I ain't stealing it. And then we get in this bagel fight, And I go, I found the money on the floor, and I was going to take it out to the poor people on the street. And he goes, what about that bagels? And I go, they're sitting there, they're day olds, and they got mold on them. No one's going to eat them, so I'll take them outside and give them to the people that are hungry. Right? And he goes, oh yeah, I like your story. You were stealing it. That's why you were leaving. And I go, there's no poor people in here that are fucking hungry because they can't come in and afford this shit. And so we got this big goddamn fight. And I go, there's mold on it. Look! And I stuck it right in his face. And I go, ask the lady behind the counter. Ask the guy behind the counter. They're there for free. No one's taking them because there's mold on it. The people outside and me eat mold. So we're taking them outside to the fucking people. And that's that. And then I wake up. And then Craze comes. He goes, so how do you like Oceanside? And I go, what are you talking about? And I go, the guy just accused me of fucking stealing money that I found on the floor of moldy bagels that were going to the garbage. They were up there for free. No one was eating them, so I was taking them out to give them to the people. And he goes, oh, you were you? I'm like, yeah, I fucking was. I ain't that fucking asshole, dude. He goes, all right. And so I'm getting in a fight with Christ. And he's challenging me on everything. And I'm like, you already know this, so why are you doing it? I go, this is probably all set up, a psyop, right? These last two dreams. And these two dreams are back to back. And I go, and he goes, yeah, you're in the illusion. I go, how did you know I was thinking that? I was going to ask that. I go, how do you know? And he goes, because you're in my fucking head and you know everything I did. So you know everything in the dream that I did and my intent and everything in the dream. And all my intentions were good in the dream. So why are you even asking me this? And he goes, well, to bring it to your awareness. Holy fuck. It's like I'm losing my mind, right? And then here comes the fucking Spider Jesus. You know, we wouldn't be having this problem if you were with me. You were with me. You wouldn't be having this problem. And I'm like, you are the problem. Fuck off. I'm fine. Get out of here. I don't want to be your goddamn friend. Alright? You punched me 4 times in the head because I snuggled up to a beautiful girl. And I fucking helped save her fucking innocence with Chris. You're a fucking dick. Fuck off. And that's what I told that. This is as soon as I wake up. I go to sleep, nothing else happened. I wake up and made a bunch of videos. I made one video, reverse speech video, fell back asleep around 10 o'clock. I made another dream. I'm going to stop it here. I'll make another video. Okay, and this one, this is the next dream here. I'll lose my camera. It's nighttime in the early evening and I'm working. I gotta take crates of oranges up on the scaffolding thing and put them up there and store them for the market. I don't know why I'm putting them up on the scaffolding. I have no fucking clue, but I gotta do it. So that's what I'm doing. The little grandma comes up to me. She owns this business, vegetable business of oranges, and she hired me. And I wanted the job to do. I guess I wanted the job. All I know is I'm working for her. I got to take a bunch of crates of oranges. Then I got to sit up there and take out the rotten ones and put the good ones in there for tomorrow for the market. That was my job. Bring them up, sort them out. But every time I went out there to sort them out, somebody came and asked me to do something else. And so I never got a chance to sort them out. So finally my shift's done. It's like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. And I'm done. I'm fucking out of here, right? Grandma gives me shit because I never finished the job. I said every time I went to do it, somebody came and wanted me to do their fucking job, help me with their job. So I ended up helping with them. And then she raped me. You should have just stayed there. Yeah, whatever. Made me feel like crap for doing good things for other people. Anyway, of course, just like normal life, right? So I'm leaving. I gotta go. So I get on the sidewalk and I start walking down the street. And I'm walking down the street, and all of a sudden there's lots of people. Like there's bars and signs and people walking and cars going by. Well, I didn't see any cars, but there's a lot of people on the sidewalk. And there's a 2-lane street. Lots of people on the sidewalk. It's like downtown Toronto at 11 o'clock on Yonge Street. That's what it looks like. And I'm walking. All of a sudden I see this guy, a bald kid. He's got a flight jacket, so I'm thinking he's a skinhead, right? And I look at his pants, and he's got them baggy pants, you know, where they can't pull them all the way up because they're too fucking stupid, or some kind of image thing. And so I'm looking at that, and he walks up, and he passes around one person, and he passes around another person coming at me on my left. And I'm trying to get around this person. And as I'm going around this person, he's coming up around that person. I'm going this way around the person. He's coming up this way around the person. And just as he comes around, he grabs me by the shoulder. Grabs me by the shoulder. I look at him, and it's a fucking fist. He punches me 3 times, and he goes, "I don't care if you work for Mackie. Fuck you!" And he punches me in the fucking head again. Then he winds up and goes, and I grab him by the throat, and he's swinging. He can't hit me anymore because my arm is longer than his, and I got him by the jugular, and I'm fucking squeezing him like, and I'm just holding him back, right? He's punched, and he's whipping the air, and then he goes to punch me, and then some guy with long hair, looks like a Mexican guy with long hair, he jumps up around me, grabs the skinhead looking idiot, grabs him, pulls him off, pulls my, because I'm fucking choking him. Like, I can feel my fingers going in and around his things. I'm choking him, holding him back. And buddy with the long hair grabs him, pulls him off, and they both fucking run away. I jump awake. I go, "Christ!" My innocence gone. "Just been assaulted, Christ." Christ comes down. Where is he? I'm still with the guy. He's running through the crowd now. I don't see too much. He's running through the crowd. I can feel him, but I'm right beside him, hanging on to him. Not hanging on to him, but I'm beside him the whole time. And Christ fucking grabs him, takes him up, starts hauling him up to the fucking jail. And the kid's screaming, and Christ is screaming at him. The long-haired guy got away. Christ takes the guy up to jail. Another Christ is checking my head out to see if I'm alright. I'm like, "I'm fine." Right? Jesus, whatever. Fine. And, when Christ comes down, Christ says, "How do you like the illusion?" And I go, "What city is this?" And he said something, I can't remember the name of it. I never did get the name of this town. It started with an S, like Straight Town or Strength Town or something like that. But I couldn't grab it. There's too many people screaming in my fucking head to hear what Jesus was saying. Then, asshole, Spider Jesus, "I could have saved you if you were with me. I could have saved you if you would join me." I go, "I ain't joining you. Fuck off, or you're next." I go, "I'm pretty pissed off. I'm going to punch you in the head." And I don't want to talk to him. That's all I said was fuck off. Right? And this guy, he's irritating the shit out of me. I can't get away. He is like right here. He's louder than my wife, my kids. He's louder than Christ. This Jesus, he's a Jesus. He's not a Christ. I'm with Christ. I bring Christ in me. This guy, he's from the girl the other day. He just come out of nowhere. Here he is trying to convert me all the time. I'm like, "No, you're a piece of crap. Go away." Basically, I said a lot worse than that. Then I'm there. I'm losing my fucking mind, trying to figure out. I feel like everywhere I go, I'm gonna catch 22. I don't know what's going on. So I'm like, Jesus finally comes down from that guy. The kid said, or Jesus said, that the kid was 22 years old. I go, "Who cares? I don't want to see him again. Put him in jail forever." And he goes, "I don't think it's going to be forever." Anyway, whatever. I'm like, fine. So the kid gets let out later on. The kid gets let out on bail. Some kind of bail thing they got. And he's not allowed, he's got like sanctions on him. He's not allowed to see me, touch me the next time. He goes away longer. And then he gets another one. If he comes back, he goes away longer than that. That type of thing. Sort of like a police protection thing, right? But it doesn't cost any money. That's nice. Anyway, so this guy comes and assaults me again. Christ catches him, knows who he is already, so he can just grab him because he knows who he is. And I got the guy's name too. My kids grabbed the guy's name. I don't know how they did it, but anyway, Craig said, you can't go back. I'm going to lay down. I've been up for like 2 hours. I'm already exhausted and tired. I just want to go lay down and sleep, because you go to sleep now, you're going to go back to the illusion, and the long hair guy is going to fucking shank you. And I go, who's the long hair? Oh yeah, the long hair guy. Turns out, skinhead dink was working with the long hair dink, and the long hair dink was stalking from behind while he was coming up front. He was the backup in case anything happened, right? To this guy. I'm thinking, is this the fucking gangster that's been chasing me around for last month? And I don't know. He never said anything. I couldn't hear him. I don't know. And every time I had a conflict, every time I was in a conflict, I was always shorter. I'm 6 foot in normal life, but I'm always innocent. And I'm shorter. And the bad guys, which I could normally beat up here in the real world, are like 2 feet fucking bigger than me. I'm like a 12-year-old kid. They're like 2 feet bigger than me. If I'm a foot and a half or a foot higher and bigger and meaner looking. And I couldn't react. I couldn't punch that guy back. I grabbed him by the throat. That's the first thing I could do. I pushed him back so he couldn't hit me anymore. I'm squeezing his fucking throat as hard as I can. And then I'm getting ready to punch. As soon as I go to ready to punch, I'm pulled out. I wake up. I never had a fucking chance to even defend myself or get some satisfaction of revenge. Nope. So that got me thinking every time. The gay guys that were grabbing my balls and groping and licking my fucking ear and talking, smutting my goddamn ear. Felt like I had to have a shower after the dream. I was going to hit them, but I never had a chance. And I had to piss. So every time I'm in this illusion, so that was that. I go, Christ, take me to fucking Christendom, where the military Christ is. I'm going to sleep. I'm tired of this. I go, I don't know what the hell's going on. I got to get rid of this giant Jesus spider. He's the loudest thing. He's just so fucking loud. I actually did a test video for Orbs yesterday, and I got him talking in it, and I'm going to post it. And you're going to hear it from yesterday's video. Just playing around. This is how loud this guy is. And he's in my fucking head. I want him dead. I can't stand it. Now, there's a girl talking. There's a girl with him. So I got 2 of them now talking. So anyway, Christ carries my ass to Christendom. They let me in. I ain't there 5 minutes. And my innocence told them everything that happened since before the girl. I found the girl. Christ already knew most of this stuff. But then my innocence is telling him my perception in my head. Why I don't understand it. And I asked Christ, I sucked in Christ consciousness. I go, Christ consciousness, give me a fucking answer as to what's going on, because I can't trust anybody. I can trust this guy. Then, all of a sudden, I can feel Jesus, Spider Jesus. I'm in Christendom now, which is total separate from Christ. It's like I walked into a vault world. I'm in a vault, and I can feel a pull on my head. And I'm like, my head's pulling like this. And all of a sudden I let go, and it's coming out of me. I go, Chris goes, what the hell are you doing? I go, I'm letting go of the Spider Jesus. He goes, what? And then he comes in my back, comes up into my head, and he's freaking out because this is how connected I am in my head from the Spider Jesus. And I go, yeah, that's what I'm telling you. I can't get away from this guy. I go, I had 4 dreams in a row where this guy was trying to make me a bitch to him in each dream, and he's a power figure in each dream. I told him, and this is why, and I had to let it go, get him out. So I'm letting it go. Grace is screaming, pissed off, yelling, screaming, and he does some kind of thing where he puts this energy in me. It's sort of like juice, but not. It's different. And all of a sudden, I had like light blue colors swirling in my eyes. And all of a sudden it went black. It was black and white. And it was going. And he goes, I go, what the hell is this colors I'm seeing? And he goes, it's a special kind of energy that separates Christ from bad. And I'm like, yeah, hit me with it. So he filled me up. I fell asleep. And that's it. And then now I'm in Christendom, and I'm about to go to sleep. It's 11:30, hockey game's over, we lost, and I'm about to go to sleep. I'm just making this video tonight because I feel something's going to happen tonight. I hope not. But what I think is going on is I've sat all day pretty much thinking, feeling out. And what it is my ego puts me in the ego illusion or the Christ illusion. Christ world or ego world. And I go, well, I was never in these places before I got my skins ripped out. So how come I'm here now all the time? And he goes, you never saw it before. I go, come on, that's all you got. And I go, yeah, I never saw it before. How come I'm seeing it now? He goes, because your skins are still ripped. I'm like, fuck. Christendom Jesus healed my skin. He'll put me in an illusion. Put me in the illusion. The second illusion of my skin's healing. And I go, well, how many levels of healing do I have to go through? He said 13. I'm like, fucking what? 13? And I'm at 2? I'm at level 2 of healing my skins. And I have to go 13. Took me fucking 7 years to get this fucking far. And I'm at 2? I gotta figure that out. Anyway, I'm separate from the spider Jesus. I'm staying with Christ, not Jesus Christ. I'm staying with Jesus Christ in Christ consciousness. But I can still hear that son of a bitch out there. I'm too afraid to go back out there because I'm gonna go somewhere and get beat up. So what I think they're doing is they're teaching me somehow between the Christ consciousness illusion and the ego illusion. And I always end up in the ego illusion where I get my ass kicked. Well, I think I got it out. I'll let you know in the morning. Okay, later. Hey guys. Awesome. I had an awesome dream. The first awesome dream in like a week. Check this out. So I think I figured it out how to get rid of them bad dreams. And it goes like this. So I went to my innocence before I laid down, went to sleep. Went to my innocence, brought in Christ and Christ consciousness and Christ, and fell asleep. So next thing I know, I'm playing hockey on this weird arena. It wasn't an arena, it was outside. But there was like hockey games going on. And I played like one shift. And anyway, didn't get any goals. But this hockey game with a bunch of guys. And so I skated around a bunch. Had a good time. Man, it was fun. And then after that, we're in a parking lot, me and this guy, and it's nighttime, and we're at his car, and there's me and 3 other guys, and we're all talking, hanging out, other hockey players. And then finally we decided to call it, and we took off, and we're at this house, and there's a missile with a propeller on it, and the missile's talking, and it comes up to my buddy who's on his porch, and I'm in the parking lot or the driveway, and he's on the porch, and this thing comes flying up to him, and it's talking to him, and then it's like a drone or something, and it was like a big bullet. It looked like a bullet from a missile. It was only about this big. I don't know, this big, and had a little propeller on it. Bzzz. Anyway, it was weird. And then I saw the two guys that were flying it, and they had a remote controller, and they were flying it. And they said something, I can't remember what it was, and I said, "What are you guys doing?" And I don't know, they seemed kind of weird, these guys. Anyway, left that, we got in a car, and we're driving, and we're in Chatham, and we're driving in Chatham. And next thing I know, I'm in a motorcycle. I got a black motorcycle, and it's like a Harley Davidson motorcycle. Really cool. And then we go through the underpass, and we come up from the underpass, and there's cars parked, and there was a guy or a girl who got run over by a car, and everybody's looking and saying that she's alive and whatnot, but her head was torn off. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. So we all got out of the car, and we're on the phone calling the police and everything. And my buddy calls the police, and the police says, "Well, we'll get there when we can." You're in Chatham, right? We'll get there when you can. What is this? Anarchy town? So I'm like, and so the police said to put rocks over her head, over the head, because it was rolling around. So put some rocks on it and stop it rolling around. So my friend, he started picking up rocks, and started putting them on her head. I picked up a rock, and I give it to him. It was just a rock, a big rock. And I give it to him from the boulevard, and the boulevard is on a gas station. And I pick up the rock from the side of the boulevard and the sidewalk. It was in the boulevard between where you turn in and the sidewalk at the gas station. Then underneath this rock was rose quartz. And so I pulled back the dirt, and there was a big chunk of rose quartz like this. It was huge. I could barely, it was like this big. And then I'm like, holy shit. And I was with another guy. He goes, what? And I go, like a rose quartz ammonite. And basically it was an ammonite in the rose quartz. And I'm looking at him, go, holy shit. And I got real close. And my buddy, he got down. We're both looking at it. And so I pick it up. And it's like shale rock. It was like a shale where you just pick it up. And it was like, and underneath was another ammonite. But anyway, I'm looking at the first one, and you can see the guts, and you can see the lines on the ammonite. It was an ammonite fossil, but it was in a rose quartz. And so I'm like, holy shit. And so we're looking at it for a few minutes. We're looking at the guts and the eyes and the little squid things that come out. And we're like, wow, that's cool. And I go, that's like fucking over 80 million years old or something. He's like, holy shit. I go, do you want it? And he goes, okay. And so he takes it. And then I'm looking at the other one. And I sort of crack it out of the ground. And it was like two pieces that slid off like that. So I got the first ammonite and the second ammonite. My buddy's sitting there, and he's still looking at it. I go, Jesus. I woke up, I sort of woke up, but I'm in both places. And I'm hanging on to it, and I go, hey, Jesus, come here, look at this. And I go, and my innocence goes, Rich found rose quartz, ammonite fossil. And Jesus, he freaked. He come running over, and he goes, what? He goes, look, I'm not supposed to bring it to you, so you come and get it. And do you want it? And Grace comes in, rose quartz, ammonite, fossil, and he's in me, and he's like, and he goes, I'll take it. He goes, you sure you don't want it? And he's in me, I'm like, dude, I'm starting to wake up, I gotta go pee. And he takes it through me into his world. He's crying. I go, dude, take it. It's yours. You can have it. I go, I don't know why I found it, but it's pretty cool, man. It's an ammonite. And then he's crying. He's like crying like a baby. Crying like a baby. And I hear some girl go, you were just talking about rose quartz the other day. And she said that to Christ. Christ is crying. I can see him he's looking at it on the table. He's like, bawling his eyes out. He can't believe it. I'm getting tingles. And she goes, you were just talking about rose quartz the other day. And then the guy goes, all of a sudden, I'm still there on the ground. And the guy goes, nah, I don't want it. You can have it. And I'm like, okay. I go, Christ, I got another ammonite for you. I gave it to my buddy here, but he doesn't want it. Do you want it? And then another Jesus, the other Christ, he's still crying. He's still crying over it. He's like sitting there bawling his eyes out. Another Christ comes in, and I go, here, give this to Christ. And he comes in, and he's like, holy shit. I don't think he really cared too much, but he got it. He came through me and grabbed it and pulled this one through me. I go, this one was the one on top of that one that Christ already got. So remember that. And he goes, okay. And so he's back there, and he brings it over to Christ to give it to Christ. And I think he was a Christ too, but anyway, so Christ got 2 ammonites this big around. And I go, hey, there's still more. I go, there's still more rose quartz I got to pick up. And he's freaking out. Another Christ comes through me, and I don't think this guy knew how to do it too well, but he came into my back and he goes, do you got it? Do you got it? I go, well, yeah, I got it. And I go, I'm slowly digging out, wiping the dirt off it, and I'm gonna get it out of the ground. I go, let me know when you want it. And he goes, okay. So he put his hands in with mine, and I can see all this. I'm feeling him, I'm talking to him. I can feel his emotions and his a little bit of disorientation. Anyway, he reaches and he grabs it, and I go, take my hands. Reach into my hands. And he goes, do you got it? And he goes, yep. And then I cracked it out, I loosened it up out of the soil, and he grabbed it and he took it, and he goes, don't drop it. I go, I ain't gonna drop it. I don't know. He takes it through me into where Christ lives. And then Christ runs that piece over. There's no fossil on top, but you crack it in the middle and open it up, and there's like ammonites and all kinds of leaves and sea creatures and things from the dinosaur days in rose quartz, right? Then I go, I got one more little piece. Do you anybody come and get another priest? Another Christ comes. He comes through me, and it's a little piece about this big. So this used to be one huge giant rose quartz, but I think it got cracked from the trucks and shit running all over it. And so he took it through me, and Christ is over there bawling his fucking eyes out. Then Christ just loves rose. Christ loves fossils and rose quartz and minerals, crystals and minerals. He loves that. And this is the war guy. This is the war guy. He's teaching me how to defend myself. I'm like, holy shit. And he's bawling his eyes out. And I look over at my motorcycle and I go, hey, can I grab this motorcycle? It's very cool. And he goes, you can pick it up. I go, oh, fuck it. And then I wanted that fucking motorcycle. It was something out of like the Road Warrior, the show, or Mad Max. Something like that. It was cool, man. It was really cool. I go, well, if I ever dream of this motorcycle again, I know I'm going to grab it. So anyway, then Christ comes over to me. He goes, and he's like, thank you so much, thank you. He's bawling his eyes up, thank you. He's hugging me and kissing me. He goes, do you know what that means? I go, yeah, that's awesome, man. That's cool stuff. And he goes, how come you don't want it? He goes, you sure you don't want it? And I'm like, no, man, I used to have ammonites, and I used to have rose quartz. I used to have minerals. I found a whole fucking petrified tree, full of fucking opal. And I lost it. I lost it all. All got stolen. Well, the tree I couldn't take because it was in a provincial park, and I couldn't carry it in my backpack. It was like, you needed a semi. Anyway, I found a whole dinosaur, a whole duck-billed dinosaur. I think that's what they're called. And I found one of those. But I used to have hundreds of fossils and shells and clams and ammonites and trilobites and all this stuff. All gone, all stolen. And he's still crying away. He's like, thanks, man. I go, no, you keep it. You keep it. Put it on display. Do what you want with it. But at least you got it and you'll take care of it. And that's cool. And so anyway, then he goes, he told me what rose quartz meant, and I forgot what it meant. For me to find rose quartz, it meant something. And the fossil in it meant something. Ancient past. From ancient times. I go, oh, you can't get much more ancient than the fucking ammonite, because they're old, right? And my wife and kids are all freaking out. They don't even know what I'm talking about, rose quartz. They don't know what rose quartz is. They don't know what an ammonite is. So my kids are freaking out, looking at it with Christ. Then he goes, and he runs away, and he comes back here, and I'm already in the bathroom pissing. He goes, here, this is for you. And I go, what is it? And he goes, I can't make out what he says. Figures, right? I don't know what it was he gave me, but I told him to go stick it. I told my wife to go stick it with my armor that I got from Christ. And I got a suit of armor because I didn't die. Like, I was on the precipice of death a couple years back where I didn't want to live anymore because of my fucking head injury. My skins were ripped open. I was losing the spirit world. And for those that don't know why I can do this. So Christ goes, you got armor? So he went to my armor to see my armor. He freaked out. He didn't even know I had armor. Yeah, and so they stuck his gift with that. So I don't know what it was, but it was really important to him. And he gave it to me because I gave him the rose quartz. And he's still crying about the rose quartz. Then, hold on. Then, we talked about the suit of armor a little bit. And we talked about archaeology. And he goes, I didn't know you liked archaeology. I'm like, fucking, I was going to be that in this life. I wanted to be an archaeologist in this life. But, you know, aliens came and that was that. And with that, here I am. So then crazy, he went back. The last thing I heard was he cracked open another piece and there was full of cool stuff like fossils. I go, well, you gotta tell me about it later when I'm sleeping because I can't hear you at all now. And my kids were freaking out. They never seen anything like this before. So I guess Grace said, I go, put it on a light table so you can see right through. Grace is going, Jesus Christ, he's bawling his eyes out again. I go, put all those pieces on a nice light table. And I guess he collects fossils and crystals and stuff. And I found him the biggest rose quartz ammonite. 2 of them, huge, like this big, like 3 feet across. And it was awesome, man. And so that's cool. So I had a great dream. I got Christ a gift that he overloved 100 times. Brownie points for me. I got a special present waiting for me. I don't know what it is. And I learned that I can take motorcycles back. So in my dreams of cool things to have, I'm going to start taking them back. I'm going to start bringing them back with me. As long as it ain't a spider with a lady's face, I think it'll be okay. Oh, and I got that copper thing about the astrological chart. I brought that back. They stuck it with the suit of armor for me. It had the Gemini, Orion's belt, Sagittarius, all those things on a copper, and it was a light. It was the sun shining on it, and it made it to where it pointed to my home, and I made it for myself and buried it in the ground for if I ever needed to know where I came from, outer space, my soul, which was Orion. But I already knew that before I found the thing. So that was pretty cool. Awesome day, man. And it was pretty cool. So I got in the last videos I got from yesterday I just made, I went through my washing before I went to bed, and I got an orb coming right out of my mouth. It appears on my lip and goes, floats away right out of my mouth. And I ain't moving or talking or anything. It's beautiful. It's perfect. And I got a lot of work to do, so I'm gonna. There is dust flying around here, pieces of dust. So not all those orbs you see are actual orbs, they're just dust. So, but you can tell the difference easily. Anyway, I got a good one coming out of my mouth. There's a bunch in there. And I gotta get, it's fucking 3 o'clock, right, 3 a.m. So I'm gonna work for an hour and a half, lay back down before I gotta take my mom shopping all day. She gotta go buy groceries. She gets $100 worth of groceries. Takes 3 hours. You know, it's like walking around Walmart for 3 hours. I go out in the parking lot and look at the crows. You take pizza. Here's what you do. You have something you don't like. You get some pizza, and you go out in the parking lot, and you throw a pizza on the hood of the car. And the crows go there. 30 fucking crows laying on top of the car, and they'll just tear that pizza apart and fucking shit all over the car. The fucking seagulls. In the summertime, you get seagulls. You do that. Seagulls coming in and just shit all over the car. Good stuff. While you're waiting for your mom to get done shopping. Anyway, that's what I gotta do today. So, you all have a good day. And I just thought I'd tell you, because not everything's bad. Not everything's bad. I'm gonna make more video maybe tomorrow or tonight about what I think is going on. And I never got around to it because I woke up and this happened. Awesome. Later, guys. Speech video, fell back asleep around 10 o'clock. Speech video, fell back asleep around 10 o'clock. Speech video, fell back asleep around 10 o'clock. Okay, and this one, this is the next stream here. That's what I'm doing. The job to do. I guess I wanted the job. All I know is I'm working for the job to do. I guess I wanted the job. All I know is I'm working for the job to do. I guess I wanted the job. All I know is I'm working for jail, and the kids screaming, and crisis in jail, and the kids screaming, and crisis in jail, and the kids screaming, and crisis in case anything happened, right? And all of a sudden I let go, and it's going, it's coming out of me. I go, Chris goes, what the hell are you doing? I go, I'm letting go of the spider. And all of a sudden I let go, and it's going, it's coming out of me. I go, Chris goes, what the hell are you doing? I go, I'm letting go of the spider. Separates. I can't make out what he says. I can't make out what he says. In the summertime, you get seagulls. You do that. Seagulls coming in and just shit all over the car. Good stuff. While you're waiting for your mom to get done shopping. Anyways, in the summertime, you get seagulls. You do that. Seagulls coming in, just shit all over the car. Good stuff. While you're waiting for your mom to get done shopping. Anyway. Summertime, you get seagulls. You do that. Seagulls coming in, shit all over the car. Good stuff. While you're waiting for your mom to get done shopping. I'm gonna sit back like this for a few minutes, see if I can get anything above my head. Alright, I'm maxed to megapixels.